Would KD's return be a good or bad thing for Golden State?
I think it'd be a great thing. I mean, this is arguably the best player in the world. Like, I don't see any downside. Now, if I'm KD and the Warriors, I'm not coming back unless I'm really close to full health.
Okay.
Right.
Like, I don't think he should go out there and risk it. Just, he's got free agency coming up potentially and, just none of that. But look, Iguodala, we don't know how serious that is.
Right.
You see how deep they're having to go on their bench with McKinney and Quinn Cook, Jonas Jerebko, guys like that. And we talked about the need for a third scorer. So, no, KD's presence in that lineup would be tremendous. And here's the thing. I do think that the Warriors and KD will take into account the situation with the series.
Yes.
Now, I think Game 4 is definitely more likely than Game 3. So even if you're down 0-2, how ready is he going to be? But it's interesting that this news came out after they lost Game 1.
Agree.
Because Chris Haynes also said he's been doing on-the-court work earlier in the week. So why release this now? I talked about, obviously, the worst-case scenario for KD was coming to pass if they won the championship without him. But on the flip side,
Best case scenario.
what a great look for KD. If they're down 2-1 and looking like they're hanging on for dear life, and he comes back, saves the day. If he saves the day, he might be Finals MVP.
Ain't no might, he will be.
Okay, if he's KD and they win it, he's Finals MVP. Here's the thing. Number one, it kills all that narrative about needing him. Doesn't totally remove the fact that you went there in the first place, but certainly puts that to rest a lot. And then does it change free agency? Like, and the question is he only thinking about leaving for validation, because of the naysayers? Does he really like it there, but he knows he wants to get this image off of his back?
He'll never get the credit that he feels he deserves, and maybe he does deserve it as long as he's playing in that environment.
But if he saves the day, and then if you save the day, I would say to KD, if that scenario plays out, you come back, they're down 2-1, you win Finals MVP, you lead them to the championship, at least stay one more year. Because then go for 4 straight. Nobody else has done it since Bill Russell. Play in the new arena, and then you can leave the next year if you want. But this could work out great for KD if he's himself physically.
I agree with you. It's a great thing. I don't know any basketball team in the history of the game that couldn't use 30 points a night. And that's what KD gives you in the playoffs, 30 points a night. There's really no downside to him coming back, Skip, because he's the one guy that when your outside shots are not working, you can dump it down to him on the block, and he can turn around and shoot over his left or right shoulder over anyone. So him coming back now, not only is he a scoring option, he's the number 1 scoring option because he's the one guy that can neutralize it. There's not enough traps. There's not enough defenses that can take a guy that's 7 foot tall with a trajectory of launching the ball at 10 feet tall, 10 feet high. So there's no downside to Kevin Durant. And considering that Iggy might be hurt more serious than we know, or might miss extended time, Skip, I don't know how you win this series or turn this series around without KD.
So now you don't think they can win the series without him?
Because Iggy gone.
Well, Iggy's saying he's going to be fine.
I know, Iggy said we're fine for this game, too, and pulled up lame, even after 9 days off. Remember, he missed the last game to play.
After he clawed the claw all night? Well,
he played. Iggy did play good defense.
So we going to guard the trapping to get the ball out of Kawhi's hand.
No, but Iggy did a great job. I mean, very few players one-on-one can stop any great player.
That's my point.
But Iggy did an exceptional job.
Well, I got to get me a new TV. I just got a new TV last year. Paid $3,000 for that 4K LED.
$3,000?
Yeah.
You got ripped off, man.
New TVs come out every year, 4K high def.
Yeah.
I just got a new TV.
I could have gotten you a much better deal.
I could have. Well, get me a deal that showed that they was trapping, and I'm gonna get my old TV to Chris.
My TV was saying that Iggy was the
They tried,
primary
but
defender.
Iggy was the primary.
Was he?
So you see what Claw did on Draymond and on Iggy too? You see what they shot?
No, it was.
Well, if Claw is as great as you say he is, what would it matter if KD came back? Because he just get clawed like everybody else
I think
does.
the last time they went against each other, he had 51.
Yeah. Well, he
on the clock.
He dropped 37. And who won the game? Like Skip always tell me, who won the game, Chris?
Yeah.
That's what he do to me. Every time I do, LeBron dropped this.
You know who won the game? Siakam.
That
won the
don't
game.
do that.
He
Toronto,
did.
The
Siakam
Raptors.
scored 7 in overtime while Claw had 0
So
in
hold
overtime.
on. It's the Toronto
Zero.
Siakams. It's the
But do
Toronto
you-
Siakams.
So is this a situation if Kawhi doesn't win Finals MVP and they win it, you're not giving him credit?
Say that again?
If Toronto wins,
I'm okay if Toronto wins as long as Siakam's the MVP. Right?
Oh,
okay.
ring
Now,
is a
I'm going to
ring.
answer Jenny's question.
Yes.
We're losing focus here.
No, we're not.
A lot going on.
I'm going to quote my friend Sharpe Adamas across the table, who always says 2 things can be true, which I don't really get, but whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm
you
going to throw this back at you.
Okay.
2 things. Number 1, Kevin Durant is the best player on the planet. But number 2, I believe Golden State would have a better chance of winning this series without him.
Really?
It's just wrong place, wrong time, wrong fit. I don't love it. And again, we're all being prisoners of last night's moment right now. And you made the point, the story, isn't it interesting that Chris Haynes' story comes out after the loss, when obviously the locker room's a little bit like, maybe we need him.
Yeah.
Maybe we do. I think you're going to see hearts of champions in Game 2. I believe Golden State will win Game 2, and then it'll all go back to normal. I do believe they've been playing better basketball. They're not better on paper, but they've been playing better without him. And I thought Draymond's quotes were interesting to ESPN the day before, to Rachel Nichols. And she asked, how does it change with Kevin in your lineup and as far as it affects Draymond? He said, it completely changes everything. I have to be more of a scoring threat when Kevin's not out there. I have to really try to push the pace, blah, blah, blah. Well, they play completely differently without it.
And they have to.
until last night.
Okay, but they were wrong place, wrong time.
Okay, I'm
last night.
with
they
you there.
weren't ready for that. They
All
scored
right.
21 points in the first quarter because they are a little rusty, and they are up against the best defensive team in the playoffs. And if Anunoby comes back, boy, this is going to get a little dicey because he's another long defender in Game 2. But my point is, to your point, but Iggy, he's the asterisk here.
Yeah,
if he can't go, then all bets are off. But if he can, and he can play at the level he played at last night, and I don't know, he's the kind of guy who would just say, I'm going to go, and then maybe he can't.
Right.
If he can't actually push and go, well, then we got a whole different discussion.
Right.
But let's just do the hypothetical. Down 0-2, and Kevin says, I got to do this. I got to come back for Game 3. Maybe it's a little premature. Maybe he can't really. Does he re-injure? Does he aggravate?
That's risky.
Okay, it's
I don't
pretty
think you should do
risky.
that.
But all of a sudden, on the fly, after you've been on this magical roll through the end of Houston and Portland, you're going to change the way back that you play to put him as the sun of your offense again. You know, like where you got to circle around.
I'm with you. If things are going well, and I do expect them to win Game 2, and I expect them to win Game 3. So if you're
Okay,
up
well, if
2,
that happens,
right?
man,
If you're up 2-1,
Then he's not
I
coming back
think
in probably
things
Game
should
5.
change. And then look, they know what it's like to lose a 3-1 lead. So I don't think they're gonna rest and say we don't need him. But I think for in KD's mind, should he come back if they're up 2-1? I don't. I mean, this thing is.
Now, I'm going to ask this question one more time because Chris Haynes wrote today that Durant has this is from teammates, described Durant as being sick to his stomach for being a spectator for much of an important contest on the road in hostile Scotiabank Arena. Okay, but this is getting me. It bothers my psyche that he won't walk down there in civvies and just sit with his team and participate and cheerlead and clap and maybe lean into the sideline huddle and make a strategic suggestion. He's a smart guy.
Skip. But my thing is, they make it like this is unique to KD. You don't think Kyrie was sick to his stomach or Kevin Love was sick to their stomach? That they couldn't play in the NBA Finals? Okay. Skip, I got hurt in the Super Bowl in the first quarter.
I know.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever get back here.
You couldn't go. And they won without
Yes.
you. I don't know how they did.
So
I don't know how. I don't know how. It was a miracle. Was it not?
We were
But you shouldn't have even been on the field in the first place.
First of all, we were 14-2, so we had a very good team. We played 5 games without number 7.
Unfortunately for you, Eugene Robinson had an issue the night before. Am I right?
What you want me to do?
That's one way to put it.
He did. He had an issue.
He had a trophy on the back seat. He told the lady to move the trophy.
Is that what he said? I don't know. But that certainly disrupted and distracted your opponent.
But look, 30, it's hard to say, nah, bruh, leave 30 alone. We don't want 30 to come back and join us.
So you're saying like even if you're up?
Oh, no. If he's up, I don't see
Right,
him coming back.
Right.
I mean, it's risky for him considering what's at stake.
Yes.
Now, if he plan on going back, come play, because they're going to max you out regardless. If you plan on coming
No
back.
question.
Okay, but this is a fascinating conundrum for
It is.
Kevin because this man right here, you said on your radio show last week, hey, if they win without him, it could be his worst
Right,
nightmare. And
right.
Kevin's like, well, it's not my worst nightmare in life. And you're like, well, we're talking about basketball.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not talking about literally.
Okay.
If he
so-
does come back, game 4 would be 4 weeks to the day of
Yep.
his injury.
And they said, what, 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
That's typically
To the day.
a
And that's
major
if he
calf
comes
strain.
back. Is he going to be full strength? Is he? I mean,
See,
there's the whole.
He shouldn't risk
He's not even practicing. They said he's not practicing with the team.
No.
Steve Kerr says, well, I see him shooting a
know.
little bit.
He's doing
And for
basketball
him,
activity.
he's not a set shooter.
No.
He's a jump
He is a
shooter.
jump- he is
So that
Push it
calf,
off, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.